Hi, I'm Sam Nordberg and welcome to this week's mini training. And this week I want to share with you 3 lessons for your business that you can learn from my 10K run. So last night I competed in the Twilight Challenge, which is a run here in Brisbane, which happens in the evening. There's a series of 5K, 10K or half marathon events. So I finished the 10K event. I nearly died. No. But there are a lot of lessons to learn from this, and what I wanted to do is share with you just what happened. So let me lay the scene for a moment. We're standing in the starting line. You queue up to sort of 15 to 20 minutes before the event, so it's still 10 minutes to go, and the heavens opened. Like, I'm talking torrential rain running off your face, down your body. Within a couple of minutes, I could already wring out my shirt and just have water drip everywhere. Throughout the event, we ran through thunder, lightning, and flooding roads. And many a time I actually ran through a road where the water would come up to my shins. And it's not great running. In fact, before we crossed the start line, my shoes and socks were completely saturated. And anyone who runs knows that running in wet shoes and socks is terrible. So, what can you learn from my run last night? Well, there's a couple of things you can take away, and I want to talk about 3 really important things. Number 1, visualization. Visualization is a great thing, and I see lots of people asking about it in business. It's kind of like the law of attraction, yeah, which is the question I've seen a lot is, do you imagine yourself earning 6 figures? Or do you imagine yourself having the house you've always wanted to have? And do you draw a dream board or a vision board and all these sorts of things? And I'm going to say, yeah, these are great. And yes, I can imagine myself crossing the 10K line and I can imagine myself getting there, and that's wonderful. But it doesn't actually get me there. So while it's a great thing to have along the way, it's really not necessarily going to get you the result you want, which is actually get you to the end. Number 2, planning. Planning is great for business, yeah, and it's great in any part of life. You're going to get better results if you plan. If you lay things out step by step and you organize what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. Well, it's the same in the race yesterday. I needed to plan to make sure I had the right shoes and socks and those sorts of things. I needed to plan parking before the event. I needed to make sure I knew the course and where it went. But again, planning isn't actually going to get me to the end. There's nothing in planning that's going to make sure I cross the finish line. It might help. It might make my journey faster or smoother or easier, but it's not actually going to get me across the line, which is where we come to point 3. I worried for a second and I couldn't count. Point 3. And point 3 is that you have to take action. Sometimes getting where you want to get is as simple as just putting one foot in front of the other. And that's the case when you're running any sort of distance, is that you just have to keep going. If you want to get to the finish line, no matter how much it hurts, no matter what you've got going on, you just have to take that next step and put one foot in front of the other time and time and time again. And this is where it comes down to it in business. And this is where I see people get a huge range of different results. And it comes down to action. You can have the best visualization in the world and the best dream board and whatever. You can have the best plan and have laid out your strategy and your funnel and your products, and you've got all these wonderful ideas. But stage 3 is where people move out, which is that you must have action. No matter what it takes, no matter what it means, you must put one foot in front of the other and just keep going. And there's going to be days where you don't want to. It's going to hurt. It's going to feel like crap. But if you want to cross that finish line, you've got to put one foot in front of the other. So my 3 takeaways for this week. 1, visualization. It's great and it helps you know where you're going, but it's not the end of it all. 2, planning. It's great, and I strongly suggest you have some sort of plan in place for how you're going to achieve some things, but it's not going to get you there. 3, action. You actually have to take some action. You have to do it. It's the only thing you can do to get you where you want to go, and make sure then that this week for you is a huge action-taking week, which means I'd love to hear from you. So down in the comments box below for me, I'd love to hear from you about what action you're going to take and how you're going to do this. And of course, if you liked this video, please hit like down below. And if you loved this video, make sure you hit subscribe, and you can catch up for more weekly training next week. I'll see you then.